I'm going to do a demo on assignment 3.4 projections block 2. And so I'm going to take a photo, or I already took a photo, I should say, a snippet from my computer. So I took a screenshot and I pasted it into my AutoCAD file. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is I need to change the units. So I want this now to be in millimeters. All right. And now I can go ahead and start drawing my views. So I'll start with the orthographic views. I'll start here with the front view. And this is 10 units. And then it goes 4 units high. Then I can just hover over there and then I can choose CL to close that shape. Okay, and then I have another box here. I'm gonna hover over here, start tracking in this direction. And then I'm gonna put 2. And this goes over 3 units and then back up. And then now I have this cylinder here, the front view of the cylinder. And so this is 3 units in diameter, and so therefore this will be 3 units in height. So 3 units across, so 3 millimeters this way, 3 millimeters this way. And it's 5 units or 5 millimeters long. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to start from here because I want to start from a specific spot. I'll say 5, and then I know it goes up 3, and then over, and then this is going to be centered. So I will move it. Like so. And now I can very easily create my right side view. I'm tracking from my last point, and I could either track from the other one or I can just say 4 units down, and then it's 5 units in depth. All right, and then I'll put my circle right in there, and I think I chose the wrong circle. Specify radius or diameter. So I'm going to choose the D for diameter, and then that is 3. All right. And this is going to have the same length, of course, but this time the depth is going to be 5. So it doesn't show 5 here, but it shows it over on this side. So right here is this edge, or you could say right here also is this edge, and then this 5 millimeter edge is this one down here. So this is 5 and this is 5 as well. The L to close that. And then this is just a cylinder, so I'm gonna just copy this over and I'll put it in the center right there. And then this is gonna be 3 by 2.5. So start tracking this way. I'm gonna say 3, 2.5, and then end it right there. All right, and then I need to add a couple of center lines to this. So I'll go to annotate, and I'll choose center line. I'm just gonna choose in between these two, and then one more time in between here. And now I'm going to dimension. So let me move this to the center layer, and then I'm going to go to the dimension layer, and I'll just start dimming this. So I'll start with the front. And I like to generally put my dimension there first, and then I'll look at it and see what I need to change. Um, but you can do it. You could have created a new dim cell or modified it first if you would like to. That's also very efficient. So I need to modify this, and I need to move it to 1 decimal place, and I need to change the dim scale to 5. So overall scale is 5. And why are we changing the dim scale to 5? Well, because our scale is 1 to 5 in our viewport. And so I'm going to multiply all my dimensions by 5 so that way it looks right in my viewport. So 5, and then primary units. I'm going to change this to 1 decimal place. Okay, and that looks better there. And I'll continue to dimension this. Make sure that's straight. It is. Okay. Sure why I did it like that. Oops. Didn't quite click the end point, so I'm going to correct it. And then one more. I want to do diameter here. Okay. And then I'll go ahead and add these labels as well. So I'm going to go to text. Oops, I accidentally selected the color, so I don't want to select this color. I want to select the word text. Then I'll say multi-line, top view, and I want to underline this. Okay, and I'm also going to change the text size to 1. So this one, if you notice, it didn't reflect that change, but if I were to go here, change it to something else, and then change it back to standard, it should reflect that change, which actually, let me make sure. Okay, so it is 1. Let's try that one more time. I could try regen for regenerate. Let's go in here, see what it looks like. I could change it in properties, but let me see if when okay, well, it wasn't changing then, so I just deleted it and now I'm gonna enter a new one. But it can also be changed in the properties menu. Front view. So sometimes you have to just adjust and try some different things because AutoCAD doesn't always behave like you might expect it to. Now I'll do CO to copy this. Top view and right side view. All right. Just gonna move this up a little bit to create a little bit of space. And I want to make sure that I'm moving it up perfectly because, of course, my drawings have to be perfectly aligned with each other in different views. Okay, so now I'm gonna create this shape here. I don't really need that, so I'm just gonna zoom out. And I'm once again gonna turn on IsoDraft and I will turn on polar tracking and I'm gonna turn on my grid. All right, so I'll go into Polyline. I'm going to just start drawing this up. Oops, and I realize now I'm on the incorrect layer, so I changed it back to geometry. And I'll start with the right side view. So this is 5 units, tracking up, going up 4, 5, and then CL to close it. And I'll do spacebar to repeat the last command. And I'm going to go 10 units. And then this is going to go, let's see, the overall was 4. It's going to go up 2 units. And then it goes in 3. And goes back up 2 units. And then I'll close that side and PL again. It's going to go 10 units and then over 2.5 because this whole thing here is 5. So over 2.5 in 3 once again. And it's going to join right there. So PL. And this one went in 2. And I have to join there. And then don't forget this line right here. Okay, so that's my block. Looks very similar to this one. I'm just missing the cylinder. And so for that cylinder, let me double check my snaps. Okay, I have center on and geometric center. And I want to create a isometric circle there. And so I do that with this axis end ellipse. So I'm going to select that. And I'm going to turn my grid back on and I'm going to double check. I want to be drawing on the right plane since that's where the ISO circle is located. And now my command line, it says specify endpoint of ellipse or, and it gives some options. I'm going to select ISO circle. All right, and then I want to specify this as the center of my ISO circle. And so now it's drawing an ellipse right here, and it looks like an isometric circle. And so the diameter of this is what's known. I'll do D for diameter, or I could click it down here, which is what I just did, and then it's going to be 3. And now I can just take that and I can copy it. Oops. Do CO for copy. CO, there we go. Okay. And let me make sure quadrant is on. It is not. So I'm going to turn on quadrant. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to drag it out 5 units because that's how long it is. So 5. And then now I will just connect from one quadrant to the next. All right, and I can now trim away the excess like so. So I no longer need that. I'll just delete it. I'm going to join this and move it. And I'll turn off ISO draft and that looks right. So now I will go to my viewport and unlock it. And I will change the scale to 1:5. And just make sure everything's fitting nicely in my viewport. And that looks good. It's about centered. I don't want it like way over here or way over to this side. I want it to be about center. There we go. And I'll lock it. And then I'm missing one thing, and that's the note about the units. So right here, I'll put units, millimeters. All right, and then of course, fill out your title block. So this is projections, block, oops, 2. One of 1. Scale is 1:5. And then the date. And then you want to print or plot. So I'll type in the word print this time. And you always want to preview it to make sure it looks right before printing because it does take some time. That looks good. And so now I could just print from here. I'll need it. All right, and so make sure you guys name it using the convention that I mentioned before. I'll go ahead and do that now. And save often, so I didn't save it yet. I should have though. So before I let you know that you should name it like 3.4 projections block 2 underscore your initials. All right, and then this is my PDF here.